you want. People like me who are in their 40s are okay to write about 40 to 50 and 50 to 60 as well. I don't know, some of you are in that range. But if you could just quickly do that, what I want you to do is divide your life into blocks of 10 and write down the names of 3 people who influence you the most in those blocks of lives. Okay? So I'm sure 0 to 10 is mostly our parents, right? It's usually mother, father, maybe a sibling or somebody in your life. But after that it gets interesting. You will have different people who will be coming in, influencing your life. It could be friends, it could be family, it could be relatives, it could be friends, colleagues, classmates, teachers, crushes, girlfriends, boyfriends, right? So please write down, if you can, quickly, because I need 2 volunteers to come up and share that list with me as well. Can we do that quickly? I would see many friends out. So I'm assuming nobody wants to participate in the or you're doing it mentally. Perfect. That's great as well. So take a while and write down 3 names. 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40 if at all you want to go there. 40 to 50 if at all you want to admit your age. 50 to 60 if somebody is there in that range. I don't know.
So we have to write of a person in that block who influence our life.
Yes. 3 people
name
in
of
that
the
block.
person.
Yeah, you could write the name. Or you don't want to say the name, you could write the relationships. That's fine. Anybody who influenced you. Anybody who had an impact on your life. Anybody who really changed the way you looked at life. Anybody who really made you feel special, important during that course of your life. Is everyone clear on what we're supposed to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody clear? Guys?
Yes.
So if you are 30 years old, you will have 3 blocks, 10 to 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20, 20 to 30, and the person who influenced that decade for you.
Yeah. I think this exercise is done much more in detail. It's actually blocks of 5 years. So
Okay.
we don't have time now. And people take a lot of time to think. Suddenly when you go back into your life, you suddenly realize, oh my God, there were like so many people. The first thing people kind of tend to think is, am I that old already? But I have to go back and think like 20 years back or 40 years back. So that's the first problem that people have. I'm sure each one of us is doing that thing either mentally or on your phone.
0 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, and 31 to 40, and then 41 to 50,
And anybody who is
51 to 60.
simply, 60 to 70 also. There's a lot of people to admit their age. Sometimes people don't know where to go. That's all right. And if anybody is done, raise your hands. And if you want to volunteer and tell me your list, I'll be happy to listen.
Sending my list to you on WhatsApp.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't have to read it out. That's fine. Is it that difficult? I mean, sorry, before I can see once. Yeah,
Okay, guys, quickly, we don't have time.
Some places it's like so difficult and very hard to realize. Who is this person who influenced me? Was there anybody at all? Of course, there are people. We all know. Yes.
Yeah.
And 3 people who influence you.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. Go ahead, please. Come here.
Hi guys, so my name is Imran Wali, and people actually don't realize that I'm from Sri Lanka. I don't know why. Okay, now he's laughing. So your question, like bracket talk for 3 stages, and telling you had 2 stages, right? So when I was let's say 20, back in Sri Lanka actually, there was nothing much I could actually get close to, I've seen like, rich people, but they don't have any rich cars and stuff like that, those days. But there were some business people who were there that, they were doing extremely well. So out of which actually one gentleman, I actually started looking at his business. And that could actually really influence me how to continue on my path. So I'm a businessman today, I've been a businessman for a long time. I'm doing myself. See a lot of things, like I said. I have business back in Colombia as well as in Dubai. That gentleman actually had influenced me in such a way where I actually had planned out well in his life. And he had adopted certain rules and conditions for that. So I started actually really closely watching him, and I started actually talking to him a lot, and he used to guide me a lot. So I could always say that, my first guru of business was him. So his name is Mr. Anand Guru, none other than my own uncle. So that was my first influential character, right? So 20 to 30. So 30 plus, of course, I'm already into Dubai, doing my businesses and stuff like that. I started actually looking at the global market. At the global market, when you look at it, there's another guy called Frankl, right? And he is a serial entrepreneur himself. He invests in the stock markets and he will practically his company. I started actually closely watching yet again, how the stock trading goes, how it happens, how the money makes money, right? So you can have a little bit of money, but you can double it over a period of time. If you are a careful investor, right, that can always happen very well for you. So you need to take the chances of where you're investing money and so I started learning about him technically, and I started doing that. So I believe my second line of motivator was him. So now I'm 40 plus. Okay, so I don't literally see any kind of motivator for me, honestly. I motivate my own self. So maybe Imran Wali himself is a motivator, and I'm actually looking at my own self and saying, damn man, you gotta do this. So you must always think one thing. You cannot be a loser. You can be a loser, but literally in life, nothing but losing. Even if there's a loss, you always consider it as a win. And if you go on to that theory, you don't need any other motivator or anything about your life. But initial stages of your life, when you're starting off something, 20 to 30 years, you have somebody, 10, 30 to 40 years, somebody, 40 plus, you're on your goals. You learn about the world, you learn about things. Once you're 50, take a break. Whatever you have done is done. Your children are grown up, now it's their age. That's what I personally believe. So, these are the things that all I can say. Thank you so much.
Anyone else who wants to share their list? You want to?
So, my teams, there was a lady that I worked for. She used to work in airlines. She used to be a hostess and she worked in a coffee shop. And I used to work there after school. And every time I come in and work, and she would say, the store is yours. And we just trust and believe in me, made me motivated. Not only that, he made me want to work harder, right? Before giving that kind of responsibility and trusting me, and make sure I'm doing better. My 20s, my boss, my ex-boss obviously, Zeus Kusasa, he literally took me under, he raised me in that business, and made me who I am today partner. On my 30s, another boss of mine, the same thing. He didn't care that I was a female, he didn't care, I had to learn things, from scratch. There you go.
So we're assuming you stopped there in terms of your age. So it's interesting. Yeah. That's okay, we don't want to, that's fine. You can stay at that age, that's perfectly fine. Anybody else who wants to volunteer? Okay. Another question. Now, out of this list that you created, 0 to 10, 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, was there any person or anybody who was common in that list? Anybody who's very common in that list? Anybody who's very common, who's been consistent in that list? No? Yes. Who?
Oh, myself.
Sorry? Okay, your uncle? Somebody said myself. Who said? That's exactly the answer I was looking for. So, all of this, what we spoke about, what the gentleman spoke about, what she spoke about, is great from an influencer point of view. Right? When we do these exercises as part of Logotherapy, we don't do it in the manner I did right now. It's much more in detail, much more tinier blocks, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, that's how we go. But one has to understand that the common factor that has remained with us throughout the life is nobody else but ourselves. We have been with us since the time we were born. There were people who came in, who influenced our life. There were parents who came in, they raised us, siblings, relatives, family, friends, colleagues, teachers, influencers, business people, all came in, they influenced us. But what remained of all this stuff is us at the end of the day. Okay? And what happens in most of the cases, and most of the times, unfortunately, we forget about taking care of ourselves. And that brings us to the theme of what I was going to talk to you about, is we have to start being selfish. When we say being selfish, that doesn't mean that you need to literally be selfish and go out to hurt the other person. That's not what we're talking. What we're talking about is if we ourselves are not equipped enough, are not capable enough to handle our own self, there is no way, and there's absolutely no way we're going to take care of the other person or the world around us. We all want to change the world, right? We all dream one day, let's change the world. Okay. But what happens is that if we are not equipped enough, we will never be able to do that. So, what I talk about always is let's be selfish. And that's the theme I use in my corporate seminars and my corporate training programs, as well as in the educational institutions that I don't speak. Because all I'm here to create awareness about is start taking care of your own self. Like the gentleman rightly said, that post 40s, 50s, we all realize at the end of the day it's all about us. But by the time we realize it, it's actually too late. Right? And then we develop a lot of issues, we develop a lot of problems, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional. We're all going through our own phases, but we tend to forget these phases. And I'm so glad that the two speakers before me spoke about education. Because a lot of what I talk, a lot of what I speak as part of logotherapy, and I will give you a brief introduction to what logotherapy is all about, actually stems from the fact that our education system around the world is actually quite defunct. It's very much at fault with what we are doing in today's day and age. The organizations, the governments, the institutions around us do not want us to actually get educated. We are truly not educated. Having a master's degree at something is not education. Right? Education is much more beyond. We all saw it during COVID. Okay, the kind of people I faced, and I'm sure a lot of us are coaches here, the kind of clientele we've seen, the kind of problems we've seen with people forgot the basics. Okay, I have a cousin. He fell sick during COVID, not because of COVID. He fell sick because he didn't know how to cook. Did anybody even tell him that how to go about cooking at least his basic meal? Nobody told him that. Nobody talked about taking care of his own self. Nobody spoke to him about how to go about surviving when the world is closed. Right? So exactly what you guys are planning to do is to tell people having a degree is not enough. Or what you are doing in education, being a teacher is not enough. And it is a reality. If you are in a classroom of 60 people and somebody comes first and somebody comes last, is that a problem with the guy who's come last? No. Probably he's the smartest. He's probably the smartest of the lot. The guy who comes first is just somebody who knows how to how to, kind of learn things out and just spit it out in the exam paper. But the guy who's up 6 years is probably the one who's actually understood it much better than anybody else. So what do I do in logotherapy? Logotherapy is, I don't design logos. A lot of people think that I design logos. I don't do that. But yes, we design something called as your life. So what is logotherapy? Logotherapy is a school of psychology which is recognized as a third-year school of psychology, started by a gentleman called Viktor Frankl. And Viktor Frankl was a Holocaust survivor. He survived the Holocaust. He lived in the concentration camps during the World War II. He wrote a very popular book called Man's Search for Meaning. Some of you may have read it, some of you have not. But if you have, and you see it out there, maybe it's time for you to go and read it. Because it's a very, very life-changing and inspiring book. He did that to me in 2018, and I went through a crisis in my life, and I started questioning the existence of life itself. And I read that book and it transformed me. And I realized that everything in life has a meaning. Logo, the word, technically comes from a Greek word called logos, which means meaning. So it started as meaning therapy, go back in the 1940s, and then eventually it became logotherapy as it went along. So what does it talk? It talks about three things. Everything in life has a meaning. Nothing in life is meaningless. There's a reason why something is happening. There's a reason why all of us are gathered here. Right? Number two, we are constantly looking for that meaning. Something goes wrong in our life. Something good happens in our life. We always ask this question, why? You all do that, right? We always ask, if I lose a job, why did I lose a job? Am I the most miserable person on the planet? Why did I lose my job? Why did I get a bank notice? Why is my EMIs, I'm not able to pay my EMI? Why am I not able to manage my finances? Why is my business not doing so well? Why am I not able to speak so well? And so on and so forth. We always ask the question why. So our quest for asking the question always continues. Because there is always an answer. It's only up to us whether we want to go to that answer or we don't want to. That's my second point. The third point, the way we would look at the answer to every question is different. If we have a painting here, right, and if I ask her to define what she sees, and if I ask you to define what you see out of that painting, there are two different things. Are you right or she right? Both of you are right in your own regard. There's no concept of right or wrong. Because you are going to see it from your perspective, you're going to see it from your perspective. And it's very different. For somebody who's a car enthusiast, he looks at cars very differently. For somebody like me, who just believes cars are just a medium to take you from one place to the other, I don't care whether I sit in a BMW or an Audi or a Suzuki or a Lamborghini. To me, it doesn't matter. But to somebody who's a car enthusiast, it matters. So am I right or is he right? Both of us are right. Nobody is right. So there's no concept of right or wrong because there are lots of influences in our lives that impact the way we think, the way we speak, the way we talk, and the way we analyze certain things. So from my perspective, I'm right. From your perspective, you are right. And that's how the world is functioning. And hence, when we talk about mental health, when we talk about mental wellness, we all need to look at it from our own point of view. We all need to take care of our own health. Unfortunately, none of the school systems teach us what to do when we hit a crisis in life. When COVID came, what happened? None of us knew what's going to happen. Many of us got into depression. Many of us suddenly felt we were out of place. Many of us felt the world is finished, right? Its life is over. Well, I'm going to die. We all are going to die. Of course we're going to die. Who said we're not going to die? Right? But at what choice are we going to die? So we all have to start looking at things from our own point of view. And logotherapy teaches us or tells us how to go about taking care of ourselves. There are three primary aspects which form the foundation of logotherapy. Number one, take care of your creative side. It's absolutely essential. We tend to forget our right brain. We say go to sleep. And the logical brain will take care of everything, right? And that's a couple of you who are into numbers. I mean, numbers is something which will teach everything, right? Everything is dictated by numbers. If there's business, we'll do it. If there's no business, forget it, right? But that's not how life works. Sometimes creativity is extremely important. In fact, it is the most important. And I have many examples to give you, but I won't because of time. But many examples to tell you how we've actually had successful people who suffer, who become unhappy, who face unhappiness in their life, who just realize that tweaking their creative side, by igniting their creative passion, they will be able to attain happiness in life. Number two that we need to focus on is maintaining attitude. Whatever happens, happens for a reason. Right? Are there something I can do about it? Is there something I cannot do about it? If there's a situation I can't do anything about, why am I keeping it? Why am I even worried about it? Forget it, just move on. Right? But if there is a situation I can change, let me work myself and do that. If I don't, that's also a problem. Right? The third and the most important factor which most of us are missing in today's day and age is experiential living. One of my favorite quotes, and I always say this for all my meetups and all my lectures, today is the tomorrow we were worried about yesterday. Today is the tomorrow we were worried about yesterday. Right? We always say, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I was just having a chat with him and he says, 17 years in Dubai, I'm just thinking, should I go, should I not go? Man, just jump into it. Right? You're just going to keep on delaying and delaying and delaying and delaying, and then by the time you realize life is probably, I'm not saying it's ended, but by the time you probably would say, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Right? We just keep delaying things. And then we also kind of keep living in yesterday and tomorrow. Especially in the world of social media. What do we want to do? We want to tell everybody, oh, I'm so popular, I was heard by so and so people, I was just quickly go post information on Facebook and LinkedIn or whatever. And then what happens is, we wait. How many people have liked it? We cause meta stress. Right? We deal with meta stress. Oh, this guy has not responded to my post. Why? Why is this? Oh, my ex is not responding to my photograph. Is she not jealous? Is he not jealous about what I'm doing right now in my life? We all live in those moments, right? We forget about enjoying what we're doing. So in logotherapy, we focus on three basic aspects. So creativity, experiential living, and attitude. And we try to address the common question, why has something happened to us? Unlike in most of the other psychology schools where we focus on, now that things have happened, okay, just go through the struggle because you're going to get pleasure or power at the end of it, right? Freud said it's all about pleasure. And Adler said it's all about power. So you worry about, you go through the struggle because you get power and you get pleasure at the end of it. What we're trying to do is we're trying to address the core issue. I'm not saying pleasure and power is not important, but we're trying to address the core issue. The first question that comes to your mind when something goes wrong, why did this happen to you? And that's where we start. So that's what we do in logotherapy. Whether it's one-to-one counseling, or whether it is group counseling, or whether it is speaking at educational institutions, my core aim is to ignite the people that you need to start taking care of yourself. Because if you don't, nobody else is doing it. It's as simple as that. And the great Mother Teresa also said once when somebody asked her, what is the idea of world peace, right? And she said, just go home and take care of yourself. The world will take care of itself. You don't have to worry about that. It happened during COVID. Came true. All of us will go sit at home, don't come out. Right? The world will heal itself. And that's exactly what we need to do. We need to start taking care of ourselves. Before we think about making a change in the outside world. Before we think about changing the world itself, or revolutionizing the world itself. We get carried away with our passion to do business, to change the world, and so on and so forth, at the cost, most of the times, of our own self. So start taking care of yourself, and I think the world is going to start taking care of itself also. You will realize that you actually contribute a lot more. So when I do these sessions in corporates, a lot of people, mostly in HR, I don't think anybody is from HR here, right? But mostly HR people I talk to, they say, oh, you can't use this line, let's be selfish. What do you mean be selfish? You're going to tell my team be selfish, forget about the company? Only when they listen to the whole company, they realize that that's what you're saying makes sense. So that was a short introduction. It was not enough, I know. It goes on for a very long time. But if any of you want to connect back, happy to do that. Now, I want to ask you a couple of questions. Anybody whose phone number ends with the number 5 here? Anybody whose phone number ends with the number 5 here? People got a phone number, guys. What is wrong with that? Nobody's number ends with number 5?
Your phone number,
Oh,
mobile
you
number.
forgot your phone number. Oh my God. That's good. That's an excellent example of experiential living. Forget the phone, right? And just live what you're doing. Anybody whose number ends with 5? Choose a number, not yours. 9. Anybody's number ends with 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. So all 4 of you said 9. Why? I don't know whether I should include you or not. But no, I will. That's all right. So all 4 of you, if whatever companies you guys are working or whatever organizations you guys are either running or teams or whatever, I'm happy to actually come to your offices and do a free session for your teams to understand this concept. And typically these sessions last for about 90 minutes. So please let me know whenever you guys want me to come and speak to your teams. I'll be happy to do that for free. And hopefully you guys will enjoy the sessions and get motivated enough to spread the word and tell more people about it. Yeah? So whether your offices or anything else, or if you don't want to kind of fall into your office and expose the great learning to other people, I'm happy to do a one-on-one session with you all as well. So congratulations, number 9. Okay, perfect. And one more thing before we go.
Anybody have a question?
Yeah, I mean, questions, of course, are there. A lot of you, I know, because I had some conversations offline, a lot of you started asking about coaching, counseling, and things like that. So I will be open in terms of addressing those questions. If you guys want to kind of reach out to me separately and talk to me about possibility of coaching or counseling sessions, feel free over the next couple of days, because if you end up taking those, I'm happy to actually offer a flat 50% discount on the rates that I charge to people on my 3 months and 6 months coaching program. So that's especially for this group. So if you try to come back to me within the next week, I'll be happy to kind of and sign up, and I'll be happy to give you those rates. Yeah? Anybody has questions, happy to address those. What's the limit? That's an interesting question. It's not the first time I've been asked that. So, when we say being selfish, that doesn't really mean that forget the whole world. You cannot just say that, you know what, I'm just going to put myself in a shell, I'm not interested in anybody else. Now, I don't care about the others. That doesn't work. So the whole idea about being selfish is still continue what you're doing in your life, but try to make yourself better than that, better equipped, so that you can then go out and do more for what you're doing in the world. Whether it's for your kids, whether it's for your family, whether it's for your friends, whether it's for your relatives, or it could be a cause that you're talking about. It's as simple as this. When we fly, what do they tell you? In case of an emergency, wear your oxygen mask first before assisting others. They don't tell you wear your mask and jump on the plane. Right? They tell you that equip yourself better, so then you can go and help others. So there's technically no limit, but there's technically no start as well. The whole idea here is that a lot of us, and we've seen that especially in our parents' generation, that they spend so much of their time just focusing on their kids and their families or their work, that they tend to forget about themselves. We ourselves have done that. We tend to forget so much about our businesses or our companies. You know, I was in corporate life for 26 years. I had many regrets in my life. From the time of missing my son's first stage performance, to not seeing him walk for the first time, missing my daughter's first word. I mean, there are dime a dozen things that we all have missed. Right? That doesn't mean that we suddenly have to start penalizing ourselves. But somewhere we need to make a start. Somewhere we need to take care of ourselves and say that we're going to do this. And that doesn't mean that you can take up a hobby. Like I said, if you want, I can explain this to you in a very simple example. I had a client who came to me about 9 months ago. She's a successful restaurateur in the city. Okay? She's been here for about 20 years, great family, great life, wonderful husband, wonderful children. Everything's fantastic. She runs her own restaurants. Okay? She came for one-on-one sessions and called me the next day and said, I want to come for a one-on-one class. And I said, well, welcome. She explained to me for 90 minutes, she's sitting and telling me